So, how does therapy for women with abuse, or it could be emotional or physical abuse, how does that look like?
Therapy for women with emotional, physical, any kind of abuse is a very long process. First, the woman has to accept and acknowledge that she's undergone an abuse. Most of the time, that is where we fail. Because women do not acknowledge or are not even aware that they are going through an abuse, because most of the time a woman who has not gone through a physical abuse but she is going through an emotional abuse convinces her, at least I've not been beaten up, at least the person is not beating me. But emotional abuse is much more dangerous because it's slow poison. So identifying that this is what I am going through, acknowledging, the first step is she needs to talk. Women don't talk. Women try to fix things on their own. They don't even open up to their own family members. They don't talk to their parents or siblings. Well, it's the first step of help. Then, understanding the fact, once they realize, okay, I have gone through emotional abuse, second thing is they need to accept, acknowledge that they need to come out of it or they need to work on it. Understanding the fact that you are going through abuse is one thing. Next thing is you wanting to do something about it. That's the even more difficult part for a woman, because she'll say, this is something everybody goes through. What's the big deal? Why am I going to make a big deal out of it? Because that's what has been told to us, right? So until and unless she does not come out of the shell, and it's very scary to do that. That's the most difficult part. Any client who comes to me, I always tell them that the most difficult step is to seek help. Once you sought help, 70% of your problem is solved, because after that, you acknowledging and then processing processing is even more difficult, because talking about a traumatic event, realizing what has happened to you, the gravity of that, this is something I think any one of us are in denial mode. I don't want to deal with it because I've already dealt with it once. I don't want to remember and torture myself. So the next part is to process, because a lot of realizations come as to, okay, this was abuse, I did not realize it. And once you realize that, then how do you start the healing process? A healing process is a conversation for hours together that we can always have. But first is speak to somebody. It need not be a therapist. Speak to anybody. It may be a friend, your parents, or your siblings. Talk about what you're going through, because most of the time you are not aware what's happening with you.